It's a serious case, and I'm not trying to... I know, and listen,
Don't freak out. This is a long process.
and this is a good thing. This is good news for you. So, there's one more consideration that McKay has. Do you need that?
No, go.
And this is kind of funny because...
It's nothing funny about it.
The second part is, it looks like you guys figured out how and when people were going to test, looking at your text messages, you and Bon Savage.
We just know it's
And that's fucking awesome. I want to know how you did it. Are you tracking with me, what I'm saying?
Catching what you're throwing, believe me.
We need hard details. There's no more
I'm willing to do whatever because I have struggled so hard to keep me where I'm at.
That's great motivation.
I literally want to complete drug court and I want to move out of state. I want to leave all this behind.
That's the only way you get
My
people out of
past.
your life.
Like, I don't want no ties with nobody. I want to change my phone number. Me and Troy were talking about it. Like, completion of drug court. My shit's pattern. Don't call him. I told him you call him that. He laughed. I said, you know you're known as Mr. Vegas?
I think that's what you need to do, Carmen.
Even my daughter's on
Like you're
board.
in trouble.
He's an amazing person. I've never had someone that came in my life. I'm willing, like, day of graduation, I want to be gone. I want to leave hiding towels. I want no talk to nobody in my life.
We have some hurdles here.
And that's why I said I no longer want to work for the Kouris. Doreen, sorry. Doreen Kouri. I don't want... I want to do what I can help do, what needs to be done to fix this.
Right.
I feel like that as you were telling us that there was some talk about can you get what MJ had, and it was kind of very superficial.
This is day 12, part 1. That was Carmen Lober, I believe is her last name. She was speaking to detectives about her supposed involvement with Kouri Richins. According to her, Kouri would text her and ask her if she had any type of pain pills for an investor, and then Carmen would reach out to a friend of a friend of a friend. She purchased it 3 times. Now, before we get into that particular video, on day 12, Carmen is back once again because the defense wanted to speak with her. Why? Because Carmen submitted a document, a letter to the judge in her drug court, stating that she had been clean for some period of time, that she was trying to really change her life, wanted to see if she could go on certain days to Vegas, visit her boyfriend in Vegas. He agreed. Apparently, she got permission. What was the point of the testimony? To make it a point that she lied in that letter. She, in fact, was not clean. She, in fact, was still taking drugs. She, in fact, was not passing drug tests and was not meeting the requirements of drug court to actually get approval to do all of that. I imagine it goes to her credibility. The next witness is the detective. Detective Driscoll, who became the lead detective in this investigation. He starts sharing different details as to when they got their warrants. As they continued monitoring and investigating Kouri, they started realizing that she was in contact with someone that was a known drug user, possibly a drug dealer, and that's where Carmen comes into play. They started surveilling Carmen and started going through her trash, and that's where they apparently found aluminum foil that had been utilized for drug purposes. And they started playing these recordings. Why? Because the defense had made comments pretty much as if they were the ones that wrote up the document and she just signed it. So they asked him about that. He said, well, she mentioned that she was concerned about going back to the jail cell and having a pad to write everything down, asked if, we could just write it and she would sign it. We let her know that's not possible. That's interesting because in the video that we see, he actually is the one that tells Carmen, I don't want you to have to go back to the jail cell with a pad. You're writing and everybody in the jail is going to wonder what you're writing about. So it's best that, I guess the plan was for her to do it there. He did make it clear, though, that she would have to write everything up. Carmen kept insisting that she couldn't remember anything at all. However, they made it clear to her that if she did not provide them with all the details, enough details to, in fact, get her for aggravated or second-degree murder, she would then be in jail. She would have been in jail a minimum of 20 years because she supplied drugs that could have, in fact, taken the death of Eric. So that would have been 20 years minimum in the federal prison system. And then she would get kicked out of her drug court agreement. So she would have multiple. I think there was one that was about 7 years. The other one was about 5 years. Of course, she's having a breakdown because she is trying slowly to do better. They also bring up how the arrest happened. They went ahead and stopped her for her license. She was driving on a suspended license. They then got a warrant. When they went through the home, they found a gun under her bed and also motivational quotes on the mirror. Homegirl was really trying to work on herself, but there was a picture of Eric's obituary. The police took it as she clearly put that picture there because she felt guilty of her involvement in Eric's death. I took it as that woman loved Eric for whatever reason. Apparently she was distraught when she found out he had passed because he was an amazing boss to her, was an amazing dad, according to what she stated. And again, she told police, yes, she ordered this for me. I don't remember the dates. I do remember it was dark. And in the other, they've already proven that is factual. She did give Kouri drugs because the phone records show that when she was texting her, when she was going to meet that drug dealer, the drug dealer and her were getting close, according to like the satellites. And that then when she was done, her and Kouri got closer and closer. We know that is factual. She did also respond to them about the MK drug. She has no idea what it was. She says she Googled it. They were like, well, we think it's that. They couldn't even factually say what in fact it was. But again, she made it clear to them she couldn't remember anything. She even asked for a blueprint because it was so hard for her to remember. But she wanted to really help because at this point, hearing all of the detectives, she starts to believe that she did this, that Kouri actually did this to her husband. She wanted to get justice for the family if she was aware of anything that had transpired. They also talk about a jail call that the final drug dealer, I believe it is, he was the one that was on the call and he was asking if somebody could get him like a PlayStation remote. I don't even know why, but they said, I give you the money and you give it to Carmen and Carmen will purchase it. And apparently he responded, no, I tried to get her to get something from me, but she apparently he received a lot of money for some drug sales. She's not interested right now. And apparently the day of that conversation was the day that Eric died. But keep in mind that when Carmen was cross-examined, there was never an uptick or she never marked up, I guess, the prices. She could be lying on that. But apparently whatever the drug dealer told her how much it cost, that's what she would tell Kouri. Unless that was a $1,300 discrepancy where Kouri gave her $1,300. $300 of it was taken because her accounts was in the negative. She paid $1,000. I'm still lost on why she would give her $1,300 if the drugs only cost $1,000. Even the defense was like, you're a crappy drug dealer if you weren't upselling this. Apparently she was giving it to her at cost. I again, completely lost on that. But again, this is Carmen's testimony. They went back and forth, and then Detective Driscoll just talked about how he became the lead detective and how he spoke to Carmen, and he knew Carmen's history through another detective, knew that she would do whatever she needed to make sure that it could help her with her cases because she was trying to do better. In the next video, I'm going to go over that wonderful letter that everybody's talking about called Walk the Dog. Talk to you soon.